Earlier this month, New Yorker wrote a story with one headline. It said, "Can Sam Altman be trusted?" They did not ask if he's smart, what kind of money the company will make, anything about economics or business, or if he's nice or not. These are the things are kind of a given at this point. He's the CEO of OpenAI, if you don't know, the maker of ChatGPT. They asked one simple question: can he be trusted? Now, there are a lot of reasons, very subtle, small reasons that have made journalists and a lot of investors, consumers feel like he cannot be trusted. Now, as a leader, you might be making some of these mistakes, not knowingly, unconsciously, that might make your audience feel like you're not trustworthy enough. So, I'll go to the basic, the core. What a story does, what a trustworthy narrative, a well thought out, crafted narrative does, is it creates coherence. It makes the audience see what you have added in it and what you've subtracted from it. So, subconsciously, they're getting signals about what this company or this leader or this political party is about, what this startup is about, and what they're not about. What is it that they stand against? What is it that they do not believe in? So, in order to define something heroic, something important, you have to define what it is not, because it's in the contrast, it's in that poles that what you're trying to sell becomes important. People are able to understand and relate to what something is by understanding what it is not. Now, let me tell you like some of the things that have been said over and over again about Sam Altman. It's been said a lot that he's extremely smart. It's been said that he is nice. These are the things that have come across over and over again. These are the things that mostly leaders aim for, but it's an extremely low hanging fruit right now. Without a story, you can lose trust, even if you have great success. In this particular scenario, he has raised billions of dollars. It's one of the largest companies in the world right now. It's used by hundreds of millions of users. But still, the question is the person leading ChatGPT, OpenAI, its parent company, trustworthy? Can he be trusted with your data? With a company that's at the heart of new things that are happening, at the forefront of new technology that is being used. Now, let me tell you some of the events that led to changes in how people perceived his trustworthiness. One event specifically made GPT uninstall surge by 295% in one single day when they announced a deal with the Pentagon. It made a lot of people feel like they did not want to use the app. Now, he probably saw it coming, probably he did not even realize what the trade offs were. Another thing that happened was the exact same day, the one-star reviews surged by 775%. Users couldn't reconcile what Altman had said the values of the company were with his behavior. He had said certain things, but he did not do them. He did not show that he believed in those things when the right time came. So, the first lesson, the very basic lesson, but often forgotten lesson in the world of business and even with politics, is that did you do what you say you would do? Or did you do something that was completely opposite of what you said you would do? Now, there are two aspects to it. First is saying what you will do. The ability to say that, hey, this is what I want to do, and this is what I will do when I'm in a position of power, and actually doing it is the strongest indicator of a trustworthy leader. But if there is something is not said, and if what is said is not done when the time comes, the distrust increases incredibly. So, the more clarity there is in the saying and the more adherence there is to the doing of what was said, it immediately builds trust. This is the art of storytelling. First, clarifying, second, walking the talk. So, actions speak louder than words. But if you say the words and your actions marry those words and there is a harmony, then you're immediately able to build trust as a leader. Your audience sees, oh, subconsciously, and these signals subliminally are making someone feel like, oh, this is a person I can actually work with for a long time. This is the company that I would invest in. These are the talent would be like, okay, I would work with this company over some other company. The user will feel like, okay, I would use their product and I'll develop more customer loyalty as compared to something else. Now, there are other subtle ways in which you could use storytelling. You could craft a narrative that builds that trust, that bridges that trust. One thing is you could decide what you want to add to a narrative. Essentially, what are you saying yes to? Because for every yes, there is a no. So when you're adding something, you're making a decision of what you're omitting from that story. So when you say, I stand for values of being a not for profit or choosing humanity and humane goals over commercial goals, and you go ahead and choose the commercial goals when the time comes, then you're not building trust. So when you add something, you have to define what you're saying no to. When you say yes to something, you have to define what you're saying no to. And it needs to connect. That thread needs to connect with each other. Now, there's a larger narrative of what role AI will play, especially when the dangers, the risks are becoming more and more well known. Could it be used in weaponry? Could it be used? How it could be used? Probably it's already being used. There's reports that it's already being used. Could it be used to make decisions? Could AGI create some sort of catastrophic incidents? So essentially, the danger is end of humanity, killings, murders, all sorts of wrong things, and the benefit is revenue and profitability. When the stakes are so big, being smart and being nice stops working. It shows what your character is, how integrated your values are. And every time Sam Altman does something, says something, and that coherence gets lost, what happens is his competitors do well. And in every aspect of the story, what another thing that's happening is he's losing partnerships. He's not able to convince his people that he's working with to stay close to him. So New Yorker goes and interviews several people who worked with him in the past. And the things that all of them are saying in one way or another, and I'll read out some of the things that have been said. The first bit, which has been said in the article, a lot of his colleagues have said that he can exaggerate the truth, which can be misleading, which can be misrepresenting, and which could, according to the article, be called lying. It needs to be said that if you want to build trust, saying the truth is extremely important. Truth is the highest, strongest, best currency in order for a leader to build trust. So when you say the truth, even if it's harsh, even if it's negative, even if it's something that the audience might not appreciate, it tends to build trust. But if you don't say the truth as a leader, it tends to erode trust. So in this particular case, a lot of people said that he's lied to the board and to his colleagues in order to get more opportunities and in order to get ahead, be more powerful over and over again. That's the short way of creating a story subtly in unknown ways, in small ways that leads to erosion of trust. The second is when you say something, and you don't stick to it and you make complete about turn on it, it's bound to make people extremely suspicious. So in this particular case, Sam Altman started OpenAI with the aim to help humanity and as a not-for-profit, along with Elon Musk. But at some point, he changed the story and he started chasing profits. That's like the clearest way for someone to question your intentions. It goes back to something Simon Sinek said ages ago. Great leaders start with why. If the purpose is not clear and the purpose is not adhered with the process and with the final outcome, the why, the how, the what, the famous golden circle, then you're bound to lose trust. And at this point, when so many people have so many startups and so many leaders are saying all kinds of things, it's the best way of differentiating yourself, getting people to see who you are, why you believe in something. Your purpose can be your greatest advantage, or a lack of purpose can be an extremely big liability. That's something Simon Sinek did not say when he talked about the golden circle, but that's becoming increasingly clear that not having a purpose in a world that needs credibility as much as it needs attention, that purpose becomes a core. It becomes a strategic advantage for a company, for a political party, but without it, there's a lot of liability. In addition to all this confusion about what OpenAI stands for, what Sam Altman stands for, and what he's actually doing, there are two core basics of what a narrative is. Narrative has a hero. It could be a product, it could be a system, it could be a company, it could be a technology. So when I say hero, it does not mean a person. But there is also a villain. Villain could be status quo, villain could be a challenge, villain could be a problem, villain could be something that's stopping the hero from getting to where they need to get. So, one, OpenAI has not described who or what the villain is. He's not said, okay, this is what is wrong, and this is what we will change, and this is what winning or this is what success would look like. Now, when there is no clearly defined villain or challenge or problem, and there's no clearly defined matrix for what success looks like, it's about humanity, it's about revenue, it's about profit, it's about opportunity, it's about power, it's about safety, it's about profitability, it's about raising investment. Nobody really knows what is the core. What would it mean to say we won? So when that is not clear, the fundamental human values of saving lives, of making the world a better place, of being safety conscious, these things become automatically more important. So because he's not described them and he's kind of going against them in every move by aligning with the Pentagon, and by breaking deals, and he was fired and then he was rehired because of breakdown of trust with the board. All of these things combined, if you put so many little evidence, you have a leader who's lost trust by not defining and by going against the humane values over and over again. Now it's not just neutrality. It's not just that I have less trust. It's like there is a total and complete breakdown of trust without even intending and without not focusing on the story. And what he has lost is his competitors' advantage, like Claude and others. The more OpenAI is confusing its narrative and the more the questions of distrust are becoming popular in the common narrative, the more he's losing his ability to gain the trust back. And you can build trust from neutral and you can grow the trust that you have, but once you've already lost it, there is no coming back from it. Like it's extremely hard, almost impossible to create a narrative after you've already lost the trust of the people. So it's something that needs to be thought through beforehand. It's a vision that needs to be created before it needs to be communicated. and it compounds and it gives you advantages in the long term and in the short term because you thought through the story and you communicated it. If you want to learn more about it, watch the video here. It's about how US lost the narrative war. There are a lot of learnings that you could apply to your own storytelling.